posted a video about my conclusion that Eddie is who set up Karmelo to get jumped by the twins. Since I posted that video, I've had a couple people in the comments who questioned or wanted to know how I came up to that conclusion, why I think that, and just so on and so forth. So I made this video to address those things. Okay, before I deep dive into that question, I want to set the prerequisite that this is in no way a video to race bait, to further divide this country, to form a biased opinion. Everything I'm saying in this video is based off of the facts of eyewitnesses, people who actually saw the original unedited video, and really testimony, you know. I say that to say, if you're here for any of that, you can leave. Okay, if you're still here, let me dive into why I said what I said. Okay, so far, there have been 5 people who have come forward, including eyewitnesses who were right there when the incident occurred, and people who saw the original video back when the incident first happened last year, before this edited video BS started. I would also like to say that of those 5 witnesses, 3 are African American and 2 are Caucasian. And that's just to set the tone so that you guys know this is not a biased opinion. Okay, I'm going to start with the actual eyewitness because the eyewitness was there before anybody saw any type of video. By her account, she was sitting right there when everything happened, and her words verbatim was that Karmelo never stood a chance. She also said that the twins came in straight to Karmelo and started the incident. And she also confirmed that Karmelo was jumped. Okay, as far as the other 4 people who saw the original video, they all said the same thing. All consistently across the board said the exact same thing, is that a group of boys, including the twins, came through the gate. 2 people went to distract the coach, and the other 4 boys went straight to Karmelo. Now, I want to hone in on a couple things. Those 2 boys that went over to distract the coach, because every single eyewitness said that. Everybody that saw the video said 2 boys went over to distract the coach. That fact alone, that detail alone, shows intent on the twins' behalf. Because why did they need to distract the coach? I want you guys to consider the fact that the school and the coach could also be liable because this happened during the school event. So that would have been negligent on the school's behalf. They're trying to protect themselves from a lawsuit as well. Those same eyewitnesses also said that they saw Eddie in pursuit of Karmelo to fight him when he ran over to the coach. But Eddie's his friend though. So not only was the coach negligent, Karmelo's friend was also chasing him to fight him. Now, think about the fact that every single eyewitness, except Eddie, said that they saw Karmelo under the tent talking to Eddie. They even said they dapped each other up, almost as if they planned to meet each other under that tent. So, what we have is the group came in, 2 boys went and distracted the coach, and the other 4 boys came in and surrounded Karmelo. All of the witnesses said Karmelo was surrounded while he was sitting. Now, there was also a rumor or something around that Eddie supposedly recorded a video, but then he came out and he said he was play recording. Y'all ain't slow, right? Eddie would have been the only person that had the video because Eddie was the only person who knew what was about to happen because he's the one that made the call. That's why he was able to do like this with his phone, record, because he knew what was about to transpire. He was already ready for it. Now, the people that actually saw the video said that Karmelo was surrounded. You could see that they all jumped on him, and you could even see when Karmelo attempted to leave and he was pulled back in by his sweater by one of the twins. The sole eyewitness who was right there said that the twin fell on the knife when he lost his footing during the attack. Karmelo did not stab him. That is what the eyewitness said. Maybe she didn't have anything to lose by telling the truth. She wasn't African American. She didn't go to school with the boys. So just maybe she had nothing to lose by telling the truth. Now, I can't guarantee this part because obviously I wasn't in the courtroom, but there have been people that have been in the courtroom who saw the original video who said that they only showed the part of that video after Karmelo attempted to leave. They did not show when the initial attack happened, which would make sense. And it's also why people are saying, well, why didn't he just leave? Sounds like to me he tried. Since there was a gag order and Karmelo was never able to give his side of the story, then all we have is Hunter's side. And according to Hunter, they were already sitting there and they just asked Karmelo to leave the tent. 15 times at that. And so that made me pose the question here. I don't personally even like to repeat myself 2 to 3 times. Okay. How nice do y'all think he was when it came to asking 15 times? Do y'all think he asked 15 times nicely, or was it possibly aggressive? If he even asked. Also, you have to ask yourself, these are kids. This is a group of kids, okay? This is a group of kids and emotions are high. Do you really think they're counting how many times the twins asked Karmelo to leave the tent? Leave, 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 leave. How many times did I just say that? Kids don't have that type of attention span. I said that to say, obviously, their stories were corroborated because the detectives or the local police didn't separate them at all, so they had time to get their story straight. Now, back to my conclusion that Eddie is the one who set up Karmelo. Eddie was actually the only student that got up there on the stand and said that he didn't know why Karmelo was there. Said he was shocked, like, wow, why are you here, bro? That totally goes against what your other constituents said. They all said that you and Karmelo was dapping each other up like y'all was homies. But you didn't say that. Why? Now, allegedly, there are some text messages between Karmelo and Eddie from the night before where they actually planned to meet each other under Eddie's tent. Allegedly, Karmelo wanted to testify and speak to those text messages to also speak to why he was under the tent, because that was a major question for a lot of critics. Allegedly, his attorney told him that would be a bad idea. And while I understand everybody doesn't know what a setup looks like, I understand what a setup looks like. Let me break this down for you guys a little bit. Anytime something major happens, what we're looking for is who just showed up and who just left. Who lied and who couldn't get their story straight. Who's stammering? Who's lying and who stands to benefit from the lie? There's been a lot of conclusions of why Eddie lied. People have said it's because they were threatened by the twins. They were saying because, you know, he went to school with them because he was scared and so on and so forth. It's really none of those if you really think about it. Eddie lied to protect himself, okay? Point blank period. He lied to protect himself and premeditated at that. I saw a lot of people asking why would Eddie set up Karmelo? And I saw people saying that maybe it was because of Karmelo's girlfriend. Maybe he wanted Karmelo's girlfriend. Some people said Eddie was the girlfriend's cousin. Some people said they were just close and their parents were close and they really weren't blood related. I've even saw where they said Austin had a crush on a girlfriend. I don't know. I don't want to put those things out there to be facts. But if they are facts, that means that the girlfriend probably knew and that she's probably a witness. Last thing, I'm not sure the validity of this photo, but if you have resources and if you know or whatever, let me know in the comments or shoot me a message. I keep it confidential and all those things or whatever. But someone dropped me this screenshot right here, okay? And I don't know if it's real or not, but that handle has been verified to be associated with Austin. Y'all take a close look. Doesn't this set up the grounds for premeditation? I'm no genius. Hey guys, so a couple of days ago,